the way they think, which changes how they feel. And that can involve a sense of confidence or motivation or letting go of emotional baggage, any number of things. And often the change happens within minutes, but it's only because the person agrees to cooperate fully.
I bet that we have a pretty reasonable percentage of our listeners, viewers, who would like to work on a problem, but they are held back by those fears. I had some too before you and I first talked.
In that kind of, the hypnosis process, let's say, they're awake, they're relatively aware of what's going on, and they retain full control of themselves. They might zone out in the same way that someone might during a lecture, or just when they're daydreaming and they need to rewind what was on TV because they were lost in thought, or driving on a road and feeling like, how'd I get here? That's a highway hypnosis, because we have a conscious and a subconscious mind, and our subconscious knows how to drive and can do it without our conscious awareness. But we might consciously be thinking about where we're going to be in 5 minutes and be picturing that, or replaying something from an hour ago or yesterday. So we're consciously seeing things in our mind or replaying a conversation that has nothing to do with the road in front of us. And yet somehow we stay in our lane. And that's because our subconscious can handle habitual, learned automated behavior extremely well. That's what it's for. And then the conscious mind is something that we are consciously focused on at that time. When someone's hypnotized, sometimes the conscious awareness sort of wanders off, which gives some people the belief that they fell asleep during a session, which does happen sometimes. Usually they don't fall asleep though. They might zone out. Their mind comes and goes. They're generally aware of what I'm saying, but every once in a while it might feel like, I'm over there in the room, and then they say, oh, I need to listen. And so that's just normal attention. Our attention gets divided. That's perfectly normal. Someone is not an open book where the hypnotist is like, Sherlock Holmes with a magnifying glass looking for clues that he can pull out. And anything that I ask, they're going to remember that they said. But if they don't want to say it, they won't. Most of the work that I do is more that I'm speaking and they're listening. Because based on our conversation when we do an initial consultation and ongoing, brief conversations with each session, I know with a high degree of confidence what the person needs to hear to shift whatever needs to be shifted in their mind. Their belief system, the way they think, which changes how they feel, and that can involve a sense of confidence or motivation or letting go of emotional baggage, any number of things. And often the change happens within minutes, but it's only because the person agrees to cooperate fully, which leads to the second point. I can't be hypnotized. There are a couple explanations for why people say that. First of all, anyone of even slightly below average intelligence, and I know that's definitely not a problem for you, can be hypnotized. If a person does not have any brain problem, or they're not, maybe jacked up on 10 coffees or something else that could really affect them. So a normal person of normal intelligence is going to go into hypnosis fairly readily and fairly easily. It's not hard to hypnotize people because people do it themselves. The most important thing is that the client wants to be hypnotized if there's trust and rapport, if they don't have any major mental or brain problems, and most people don't, and they know what to expect. Most people will say, yes, I was hypnotized. And I think I might have told you I've been doing this for 16 years. I don't even think there were 10 people that I couldn't hypnotize, maybe 5. So it almost never happens.